Welcome to Warmaster Podcast, another episode talking about the journey into 15mm ancient wargaming. Today I'm looking at a museum miniatures army that Rid bought from eBay, I believe, for a couple of £100, painted, something like that. It's for a game system called ADLG, which is a French system I talked about last time a little bit. Plays roughly half the size of DBM, a little bit more maybe, but around about that. And a good staging point to get into a 15mm historical ancient type wargaming. So Rid's bought an Indian army. We've scheduled the game for the 11th of December from his Indian army versus my Carthaginian army. Obviously, it's a bit of a blind leading the blind job at the moment because we haven't played a game. So list building's a little bit up in the air as to what actually it does and what it means, etc. One interesting thing about the game is you've got to have 3 commands. So this is 1, an elephant here 2, an elephant here 3 for Rid. You can have them as part of units. So these are all part of units in the DBM style, or you can have them Warmaster style. So they're basically just tokens that kind of exist outside units, can't be attacked until you put them in units, but obviously don't contribute to fighting without being in units, and also they give a bonus to command from being in units, and they're cheaper when they go inside units. So these fellas effectively would be, I believe they're like because you've got competent command. I think, because I haven't got my rule book with me, I lent it to Gary, so Gary's got the book. I think they're like 3 if you put them inside a unit, and they're 3 points if you don't. So I mean, you're not saving a lot. That's like 9 points out of 200. So it's not the greatest amount. And I'm not sure tactically if you were being a cheesy McCheeseburger, probably treating them the Warmaster style and having them as tokens so you can hide them away and not have them killed is probably the way to play this game tournament style. But we're not doing that. We're just playing the game for fun. And there's a based, so they'll work for DBM as well. So Rid's got 3 commands. His first command is on the left-hand side here. His first command over here is medium cavalry with a competent general, which is this fella here. So we'll bring these up and have a look at a few of them. These are museum miniatures, metals. He bought them painted. I think he's done a little bit of extra basing to try and tie some of the basing together with some of the stuff that he's bought to add to the army, which I might show in a second, or I might not. I don't know. He's got 2 light horse, which are the guys in front. I think they're supposed to be archers, but they're javelin. Not that it makes a great deal of difference in the friendly games we're playing. He's got 2 light infantry javelin, which are single base, and 1 light infantry archer, which again is single base. Okay, and then his main company, or command rather, he's got 3 generals, a cheesy bugger, including the general, who's a competent general on a elephant. So he's got 3 elephants, sorry, one of them's the general in the middle. I think this one he's going to replace because it doesn't have a crew on it. It's quite funky. Nice war elephant. And then he has 5 units of one of the kind of signature troops of the Indians, which are a mixed unit of archers, and without having the book in front of me, I think they're probably going to be medium sword or light, but they're not going to be light sword either, so they're going to be medium swordsmen, even though they're carrying spears. In this game, spearmen are hoplites with big ass spears. So if they're not called spearmen, they're called swordsmen, even though quite a lot of the time they're using short-ish spears, like or javelins or whatever. So how it works is you have a unit of, there'll be medium sword on the front, and a unit of bow behind, and in range combat they'll use their bows, shooting over the top, and in melee they'll use the profile of the medium sword, but they're reduced in the quality by 1. So if these are just regular, they'll become mediocre, and if they're elite, they'll become regular. So it's quite a nice way of dealing with it, because how do you deal with mixed units in war games? That's one of the most difficult things, and this is quite an elegant way of doing it. So you perform as archers normally, and then in melee you perform as the medium sword, but of a low quality, and they're quite expensive. They're like 8 points per unit. That's not exactly cheap. And then we got some guard here. If my we got guard there, 9 points. So I would assume, again, they're probably swordsmen rather than spearmen. Maybe they're medium elite, something like that. Guardsmen, 9 points sounds about right. Medium elite, and so that's 1 unit there. And then the final command over on the right hand side, we've got another competent general on an elephant, and the second elephant. We have 5 more units of the mixed archer swordsman combo. So, some different sculpts. But I mean, they're all kind of roughly the same kind of thing in this list, I believe. So, no matter what they're wearing. They're all medium swordsmen. They're on 40 by 20s. And they've all got archers following up. So hopefully we'll do a bit of a battle report of the game and let you know how the rule system works and how the game, come on, you can do it, how the game works. So he's got the 22 units in total and 200 points, as you'd expect, and 3 commands, because that's what the game suggests, or the game demands. There's no suggest, is there? I think I'd prefer a little bit more flexibility, maybe having 2 commands, or maybe even 4 commands if you had some kind of horde army, but it's very regimented in that it's 3 or nothing. So centre, left and right, or whatever it is going to be. Okay, well, hopefully you've enjoyed this short video just highlighting Ridd's army and also talking a little bit more about ADGL, if that's the name of it. I get that wrong all the time. It's ADLG and Ridd's Indian army. So until next time.